So this week's key, it's two parts. Some of them are in two parts, is to enjoy and to be useful. So let me unpack enjoy a little bit. We're not trying to do anything perfectly. We're inviting more awareness, and small daily moments are where the medicine works. Okay? Small repeated moments. I When these keys were finding me many years ago, I would write on my wrist whatever the key was that I was working with because it would often be in my visual field, or I would make my wallpaper on my cell phone, right? We look at our phones about 500 times a day, literally. That's the research. So I would put the key there as a reminder, and I have an image that I can share with you over in the Great Energy community. So enjoy, to enjoy. Listen to the word enjoy. Enjoyment is the state of being in joy, connected to joy. It is how we experience enjoyment is completely unique and specific to each individual. Enjoyment and to enjoy is not the same as gratification. It's not the same as satisfaction. It's not the same as comfort or distraction. So there may be some tasks in our lives. You might say, well, I don't enjoy every task. I'm not enjoying this. However, we can pause to bring enjoyment. Enjoyment is about how do we meet the task. Remember, go back to we're here to our dharma, our job description is to be in harmony with our karma, is to be in harmony with what is. Enjoyment is a relational process. It is how you meet the moment. So what takes away from our enjoyment? The primary thing that I invite you to be on the lookout for the next 30 days is observe yourself. Notice when you're not in enjoyment. Notice what pulls you out of it. And one of the things I want you to pay most attention to is complaining as the primary source of what pulls us out of enjoyment. Complaining is an energy leak. Complaining is how the ego strengthens, and we're not trying to strengthen the ego. We want to mature it. We want to polish it. We want to clarify it. Complaining strengthens our egos, right? So Christopher has a really lovely practice that I'd love to share with you. And the key to enjoyment is gratefulness. So you can't be complaining and in gratefulness at the same time. It's one or the other. It's one or the other. I invite you to test that out. Everything that I say to you today, test it yourself this week or this month. Don't just believe it. Really test it. Be an observer of your own mind, right? If you are not in enjoyment, what's going on here? What are you thinking and believing true? And most often you're going to find a complaint is at the helm, and complaints automatically pull us out of gratefulness. So when we are inviting gratefulness to find you, Christopher has a practice where if he's in a sort of a complaining mindset in a moment about something, he'll just go and pause and just sit and just be. Don't do anything, nothing to do. And if you're interested, gratefulness will come back and find you. You see, what I love about the keys is there's nothing to force. We're not bypassing, we're not forcing. The keys work with the permission of allowing and inviting. So it was a counting weekend for Christopher. And when complaints arose, there were many moments and opportunities for Christopher to simply pause and do this practice. And when there would be a shift from complaint to privilege, to gratefulness. It's an honor. It's a privilege that I actually get to do accounting. It's a privilege that I get to do this process in the warmth of my living room with the fire going. It's a privilege I get to do this. And I'm not distracted by hunger. It's a privilege. So you're inviting in your own authentic way to let wisdom rise up and greet you internally. I like to call this, it brings us back into our right mind. And to start with gentle things, like let's say you're cleaning the bathroom, like, everybody's so messy. Why is this wet towel on the ground? Whatever the complaints are, just notice. Complaining is an alert to pause. And then to ask yourself, what's truer than my complaint right now? That's the question I like to work with, that brings me into my wisdom now can communicate with me in the space between my complaints, in the space between my thoughts. And in this space, I get to hear what's truer than my complaint, and I might also hear an action. There may be a request I have to make of someone, I don't know, but you were going to hear wisdom and direction. In this space of listening, you're going to hear wisdom and simple directions, because the direction is your wisdom telling you how to live it in the curriculum of your life, exactly as your life is appearing to you. So possible mantras for this practice. What a privilege, actually. I like the word actually. I get to be here. So I invite you to find your own phrase that brings you into your right mind truthfully with no forcing. Right? So please, with the practice of enjoyment, let ordinary moments serve as your practice. Some insight questions you may enjoy working with is, what do I enjoy that I sometimes rush past? Where am I waiting for my life to be different before I welcome enjoyment? Am I confusing pleasure with enjoyment? Can I bring curiosity to this moment instead of resistance? What changes if I invite gratefulness here? And where does my complaint show me that I've left the present moment?